you today? Today I'm going to show you how to make these butterfly earrings, and these butterfly earrings are made with wire. So we also going to use seed beads and 4mm beads, but other from that they're made out of wire. So let's start. You will need a cutting plier to cut the wire, and you will need some flatnose pliers. So I'm using flatnose pliers without the teeth, because when you use the ones with the teeth you can damage your wire. I'm going to use a roundnose plier. I'm going to use some seed beads. You can use any seed beads that you have. I'm using Toho seed beads here, and I'm using them in a kind of contrasting colors so that you can better see what I'm doing today. And these can be all kinds of seed beads, but I think it looks the best if you use regular seed beads, or as good as regular, so that you have like an equal butterfly. Because if you will use all kinds of different sizes, you will get like a bumpy butterfly. So it's just what you like. I'm using wire to wrap. So this is just, you can get these in spools. I bought like eight of these together. This is just the regular wrapping wire. Use as thin as you have. I'm not sure which goat this is, but you can just try, because you can use all kinds of materials for this. So thin wrapping wire. You will need some 4mm beads. You can use any kind of 4mm beads. I'm using pearls today, but I also used Swarovski 4mm beads. It is just what you have. You can use check beads or other round beads. It's just what you like and what you have on hand. I'm going to use aluminum wire. You can also use other kinds of wire. I'm using this in 1mm, and I believe that this is 0.3 millimeter, so this is very thin. You can also start with 0.8 millimeters, but make sure that it is that soft. But I'm not sure which goat that is, because all the measurements of this is in Dutch measurement for me. So I'm just going to say like this is 1 millimeter, and this is I think it's between 0.5 and 0.8 actually. It is recommended as 0.3, or it said 0.3, but I don't think it's 0.3. So thin wrapping wire and 1mm aluminum wire or other wire you have. I suggest that if this is the first time that you use wire, use a soft wire, a dead soft wire, or as I do, aluminum wire, because in that case you are sure that it is easy to work with the first time. If you are more advanced at wire wrapping, and I think then in that case that you can come up with these earrings yourself. But if you're more advanced, you can use a little bit of more sturdy wire. But for beginners, I would say take a dead soft wire or aluminum wire. And you will need a pair of ear hooks with a pair of rings, so that you can hook it up to an earring, and maybe you want to make a pendant from it. That can also be. I'm going to show you to make earrings today, so I'm going to take a size that is a good earring size. But if you want to make this in a pendant, the only thing you have to do is just make this design larger, and then use bigger beads. So I would then suggest to use 6mm beads and 8mm beads across. So 8mm beads, because these are 11/0s, or larger beads. Maybe you can even use like a 6/0 bead if you want to make it into a pendant. So let's start with making the body of the butterfly. What I did, as you can see, I made a pendant size here. The reason I did that is that I can show you better with pointing with my finger what we're going to make now, because maybe this is a little bit small to see on the camera. So we're going to start with the loop, and I'm going to take a piece of wire, and I'm just going to leave it on the spool, because we will not need a lot, but I also don't want to waste my wire. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to put it on the end with my smallest piece of the nose, and I'm going to twist it so that I get a little bit of a loop here. Then I'm going to make the body. So we're now just made this piece, and we're going to make the body here. So I'm going to see how large or small I want my butterfly to be. And I don't want it very large, because we're going to make earrings out of these. And I'm going to, I will grab my plier, or sorry, my ruler for you. I think I'm going to make it a total of 2 centimeters. That's about 1 inch, a little bit smaller of an inch, so 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to just twist it. Don't make it an extremely sharp twist. You just want to make it a little twist. And it will look like this. Now we're going to make the top. I'm going to turn it around because you can see it better. We're going to make the top of the butterfly wing here. So as you can see, I made a small bend here, and we're going to do that with this one also. So I'm going to see where I want that bend to be, and I'm going to take one of my flatnose pliers, and I'm going to grab it about half a centimeter above the wing, and I'm just going to give it a little bend, not too much, just a little bend, because it needs to be noticeable, but you don't want it to be an extremely large bend here. Now we're going to see how large we want the wings to be. So this is the top wing, and I don't want it to be extremely large, but also not very small. And again, I'm going to make this about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to twist it towards the butterfly, so it will look like this. And then I'm going to grab it with my fingers, and I'm going to bend it back, because we want this edge, as you can see here, we want a little bit of an edge here, but not a very sharp edge. So I'm just going to twist it and bend it a little bit until I like the shape. What we're going to do then, when you make the shape the way you like it, you're going to take your finger and you're going to twist it around your finger. And then from there on, we're going to determine the size of the upper wing. So we're just going to take our finger here, and we're going to give it a little bend. And that is going to determine how large we want the top wing to be. Now, as you can see, my wing is a little bit too much up. So I'm going to adjust that now also. And with that also the size of my wing. So you're just going to eyeball this. So this is no exact science. You will need to eyeball this until you like it. And that's why we're also using the soft wire, especially if you're a beginner, because now you can really determine for yourself how you want it, and you can just easily tweak it with your fingers, not even with your pliers, just with your fingers, to see if it is about right. So I want to make it sure that it is a little bit more bent, like a soft bend. Okay, I think I'm good with this. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to place them against the body of my butterfly, and I'm going to twist it all the way back. This will make the beginning, as you can see here, the beginning of the second wing. Now we're going to squeeze this with our fingers, because if we use our pliers you can damage the thread, or sorry, the wire. But just squeeze it with your fingers. If you can't squeeze it with your fingers, use your pliers, but be very careful. You don't want to slip off the wire and then ruin your wire. And now we're going to do the same. We're going to use our fingers. So I'm going to grab in the middle of this, and I'm going to bend the wire towards the butterfly body around my finger. Now, as you can see, I have a sharp edge here, and I'm going to just tweak that again with my fingers until I am happy with the shape it has. And you can make it as large or as small as you like. Now when you're bending this, make sure that the thread ends over the bottom half of your butterfly, because this is the place, as you can see here, where we're going to attach the thread. So I'm just going to tweak it a little bit and see where I like it. And when I found that place, I'm going to take my cutting pliers, and from the first bottom half of the body until here, I'm going to leave about 1 centimeter of room. If you're not sure, you can better snip a little bit less off than too much, because you can't attach it, as you would of course understand. Now we're going to open the body, so I just opened the body here, and I'm going to place the thread around the body. So I'm going to wrap it around with my fingers on the bottom half of the body, and I'm going to do that 2 times, and I'm going to end in the middle of the butterfly. So I'm going to, not the middle of the butterfly, but the wing part of the butterfly, sorry. Because we don't want any sharp edges on the outside of the butterfly. I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to cut the wire off. And now I'm going to take my flat nose pliers, and I'm just going to make sure that this wire lays nice and flat against the butterfly body. And then you can just fold the body in again. And it will look like this. Now you can make a variety of these butterflies, of course. You can make them any shape and size that you like. As you can see, I made a smaller one and a bigger one, because this is going to be a pendant and this is going to be a piece of an earring. And now I'm just going to grab my finger. I'm going to push in the body of the butterfly, and then I'm going to grab the antenna, and I'm going to twist it outwards, so that we have a little bend here where we can attach the body to the wings later. And it will look like this. As you can see, this look is very different from this one, or it's not super very different, but it is a little bit different. And if you want one perfect shape, you will just make one, and make one that you very much that you like very much, and then you're just going to take your wire, and I'm going to turn it around because I want the left and the right, and then I would just trace the wire of the butterfly. So in this case, like the round is the other way, so I would twist it the other way around. I'm just going to make a small example of this, so that you have an idea of how I do that. But it's just tracing and then following the same steps. So now I'm going to make a bend, and I'm going to make that bend inwards. Now, and as you can see, I'm just going to trace it. I'm going to see, like, is it the same? And then I'm going to make a little body bend, like this. And if it isn't too strong of a bend, you can just, if you have the soft wire, you can just adjust it. And just trace it all the way. I'm going to make the body bend here. See if before I make a very sharp edge, if I have that correct. I think so. Like this. And then you're just going to trace where you need to make like the first bend of the wing. And as I said, it will not be exactly the same, but it will be about the same. But no butterflies are alike, so it's not that it is that much of trouble if if it is not very much exactly the same. So like this, so you're just going to trace the other butterfly. As you can see, it's about the same shape, and you can just twist and bend this. You can just cut off a little piece. If you have like too long of an antenna, you can just cut a little piece. If you have like too long of a body and you made the rest of the butterfly correct, you can just straighten this again and then cut a little bit of piece of the antenna and do that piece again if you made a too long body. And just the rest of the butterfly is just tracing the other butterfly as good as you can, and then make two of the same. So you're just going to do that exactly the same as you're going to do that with the first piece, but then you're just going to trace it. Okay, just for time's sake, I'm just going to make one. So I'm going to show you how you can put the beads in this small one. To attach the beads, it's a word that I should know. The beads onto the butterfly, and we're going to start by attaching the butterfly to the wings, so the body of the butterfly to the wings. We're going to take the wrapping wire now, and I'm going to take about half an arm span of this, because that will be enough to make the two butterflies. At least it depends a little bit on how big your butterfly is. You can better start with too much thread of this than too little, but you also want to make it workable. So I'm going to start with half an arm span, and for the first butterfly you will just have to see if it is enough for your butterfly. But in general, if you make this butterfly, you're going to see how large it is. This is 1.5 inch butterfly. If you have 1.5 inch butterfly, I think you should make it with could make it with this thread. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to attach this part, so under the antenna, onto the butterfly wings. I'm going to grab it, and I'm just going to bring it in that butterfly. And then with the smaller piece left here, I am just going to make sure that it is stuck. So I'm going to wrap it several times. Make sure that it is straight and that the wire won't flip on top of each other. And now I'm using a contrasting wire, but you can also use, like I did with these ones, the same color wire as you used on the outer edge of the butterfly. And when you did that, you're just going to make sure with your flatnose plier that the end part of the wire is stuck and flat, so that you can't hurt yourself, or if you make these for anyone else, that you don't get any accidents with this. Okay, and when you're done that, we're going to start with making the first row of beads here. So what you're going to do is, with me, I need to go up a little bit before I can reach this first row, and I'm just going to wrap it around the wire. I'm just going to do this widely, so I'm not going to make it a tight wrap. You can make it a tight wrap if you like, but I like it just like this. And then I'm going to make sure that I have a nice angle, the right angle and a nice angle to put on my first beads here, like this. Now I'm going to grab my beads and just going to string a few on. How many I don't know yet, because we're going to measure this with the beads on. So I'm just going to put on a few, and from there on I'm just going to see if I have enough or too many. And I'm going to show you that. So as I said before, this is no exact science, and this is a fun project. Simple, and I hope this video will be easy to follow, because this is not a video that I do very regularly, of course. because I normally do only beading videos. Okay, now as you can see I have too much beads on, but I do have enough to cover to the other side. So I'm going to see where the beads still have a little bit of room to be attached to the other side, so that I can attach it to the wire. And then the rest of the beads I'm going to slide off like this. And then I'm just going to wrap this around. So I'm going to wrap this around the butterfly, so the butterfly wing, the outer edge, and I'm going to the inside of the butterfly like this. And then I'm going to wrap downwards, so I'm going to do that one time and then flip it so that I can make the next row like this. Going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see that. So I wrapped it once, and now I'm ready here to start the next wrap. Now I want a bead around here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on 2 seed beads. 1, 2, and then I'm going to try out if I like my bead to go there, or that I need another seed bead. So I'm going to put it here. Now, and as you can see, I like it to be 1 down. So I'm going to take another seed bead. And then my pearl in this case, so any 4mm will do. You can even use like an 8/0 if you have only 8/0s. You can use an 8/0 here just to give it a little bit extra. Now I like this, so I'm going to keep it like this, and now I'm just going to add more seed beads here. Like this. Excuse me. And I'm going to do the same. So I just added 1 too many, I think 1 or maybe 2. Yes, I think 2. So I'm going to take 2 off because I don't think that looks right. And then just like we did before, grab a hold of the beads because you want to keep them in the place that they are now. And then you're just going to wrap it around and make sure that you step up for the next row. Like this. And here I'm going to start my next row. Now we're going to do that all the way around, and we're going to end here, because here we need to attach 1 seed bead in between. I have 2 here, but in this case we need to attach 1 seed bead here in between. And we're just going to do that all the way down. So I'm going to just show you this, how you do this. So I'm going to speed this up, and then you can just see how I do it. And there's nothing to it more than this. Just we're going to just go all the way down. as you can see, I'm now at the point that I'm going to add one, and I'm just going to grab one. And I wanted to show you this because if you don't have like enough room for that one, you can just pull the wire work a little bit backwards, so that you at least can fit one here. And then we're just going to do the same. So we're just going to wrap this around, and I'm going to do that twice to make it a little bit stronger, like this. And now we're going to start the straight rows. So as you can see here on this butterfly, I made these downwards, and these are more straight. I'm going to do with these also. So I'm going to, just like we did in the beginning, we're going to make a start by just wrapping it roughly around, and then finding a starting point to wrap the first row. Like this. And then I'm just going to see if I can make the first row straight ahead, and I can. So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to make the first row here, and like before, I'm just going to pick up some beads, and I don't know how much yet, so mostly I'm counting to 10, maybe 12. And then I'm just going to see how much I need. So I'm going to just bend it a little bit, and this will be enough. And then I'm just going to bend it on the butterfly's body on the opposite side. Oh, almost missing one bead. Like this. Now I'm going to position this one. And then I'm going to wrap it around. Now no butterfly is going to be the same, also not in the wrapping, because maybe with one butterfly you will need 8 wrappings, just saying a number there, and with the other one it can be that you need 7 or maybe 9. So when you make like 2 of the same, I'm always going to try to make the same amount of beads, but sometimes that leaves like a hole, a really big hole here, and then I'm just going to do another row, because as long as the shape of the butterfly flies is kind of the same, people won't really notice. So I'm just going to do the same as we did before, so I'm going to speed this up. And then I'm going to show you how you can add a ball, a bead, sorry, here again. Now I'm ready for the row to attach my pearl. So I'm going to take about 4 or 5, I'm thinking 5. And then I'm just going to see if I like that place for the pearl. No, I want 4. So I want it to be a little bit in the middle. And then a few beads again. So So as I said before, there's no exact science to this, because this is just a matter of doing. You just need to try this, you need to feel this. If it is something for you, because not all people are made for wire wrapping. I myself, I'm not mind wire wrapping, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I rather bead. But I do occasionally like to wire wrap. But this is not like the kind of jewelry that I would sell 1, 2, 3. As in making a lot of these and selling these. I did sold a pair of these because a friend of mine really wanted a pair, and I was like, okay, going to make you a pair. But I don't think I can wire wrap neat enough to really go ahead and make and sell these as a wire wrap thing. I mean, what I'm trying to say, like, there are like really wonderful wire wrapping artists, and those can really make beautiful wire wrap things, and I'm not at that level anywhere. This is just came straight out of my head, like, okay, let's try a wire wrapped butterfly, and this is the shape of a butterfly that I like. So this is not from a template or from anything at all, actually. This is just the shape of the butterfly I like, and I just try to make this. So that's where this is coming from. Okay, I'm ready to, as you can see, add the last beads now. So this is a little bit of a longer video with a little bit of chatting. Sorry for that. But that is just because this is not like a step-by-step instructional thing. Because this is just doing and feeling what is right, seeing what is right for you. Now it can be that you ended on this side, so that you added the last row on here, and then you're just going to wrap the wire around until you are here. So that you can tie it off, because we're going to tie off here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to wrap this around a couple of times. So I'm going to wrap it around the place where we attach the last part. So the last part of the first part that we did, I'm just going to make this totally hard to understand in this way. But what I mean is that we are going to attach it here, so on the end, and we're just going to wrap that around a few times. Just when you think like, okay, it's secure now. I don't want any loops in my thread, but my wire. Sometimes that's just a little bit hard, and you can flatten those out a little bit with your flatnose plier. And I'm just going to wrap it and then go in between all the beads, and I think it's secure now. So I'm going to just cut it off, leave a little bit of room, so that with your flatnose pliers you can make sure that it doesn't get stuck to anything, so that it's not sharp, and that it's just, if you touch it, it needs to be smooth. So like this. Now the only thing that is left to do is to clean up our beads. I did this on a beading mat, but you can just do this on your table. But I tried to film this on my table, and you couldn't really see what I was doing, because the shade of the table that I have does not, it's not very good for filming. Okay, I'm going to clean up my beads. And now you're going to reshape your butterfly a little bit, because as you can see, there was a lot of room in between this, and we're just going to reshape that a little bit. Maybe you pushed a little bit too hard, and you need to reshape it a little bit. Other from that, if you also made like the other butterfly, make 2 of these. You can also make them in total mirror image, so you can also like make sure that at least the loop of this one is in the opposite direction. I'm going to show you with the ones I already made. So make sure that the loop of these are in the opposite direction, because that is something that people will notice. But other from that, people are not going to stand up close to you and let's look at those earrings. So if like you made 2 of the same frames and you just turn it around, no sweat. But if you want to really make it very neat, so that you really have the opposite, you should tie this one the other way around. So if you did this from left to right, you're going to do this one from right to left. That is the only thing that I recommend if you want to do it extremely tidy. As you can see, I just used the 4mm beads here, and here the Swarovski Picon. It's also 4mm. It is just what you like. The only thing left to do now is that you grab your pliers, and we're going to open a ring, and we're going to attach it on the top of the wing. At least that's where I like it. You can also attach it anywhere else where you like it, but I like it on the top of the wing because they dangle very nicely from it. And I can't show you the dangle, but they dangle very nicely in this way. I'm going to attach my ear hook, and if you made like a matching pair or an opposite pair, you can also make them both the same way, but I would not recommend that. And I'm going to show you on the pair I already made. As you can see, if I put it in my ears, this one is the same as this one. Let's see. This one. No, the other one. Yeah, what I wanted to say is, if you dangle it in your ears, I did this the wrong way, I see. You make sure that you have to make sure that it dangles the right way, and I'm going to demonstrate that. Okay, sorry for that. As you can see, I made this one this way and this one this way, because when you stick it in your ears, you need to either visualize or just go in front of the mirror to see how it dangles. Because if I stick it in my ear in this direction, my butterfly will show with the antenna towards the front of my face, if that makes sense. So if these dangle, you can really see that the butterfly is hanging the right way, if that makes sense. So before you're going to give this to someone, or maybe you're making these for yourself, attach your ear hook and make sure that the ear hook is on the outside of the butterfly. So the antenna is going that way and the butterfly wings are going that way. So you're going to attach your ear hook in that direction, because in that way they will hang the right way. So I hope you liked this tutorial, and please check out my second channel. I made a second channel, and on that second channel I'm going to discuss how to sell on Etsy. So if you made things, and or maybe you are going to get really good in making these earrings and you want to sell them, well, then you can sell them on Etsy. And on my second channel I'm talking more about Etsy, but not only about Etsy, also simple jewelry. I'm going to start a simple jewelry line there. So just simple combinations of beads and stuff like that. And I really hope you're going to like that, and all kinds of other things. I'm going to leave a link down in the info box so that you can check out my second channel. Subscribe to me on my channel here. Also follow me on Facebook, follow me on Pinterest, and I also have an Instagram account now. So if you like to follow that, all the links are in the info box. Well, I hope you liked this tutorial, and please, if you have any questions, please ask me, and I will see you next time. Bye, have a nice day.